else at McLaren.
It lines up Brazil well, doesn't it? I mean, because Max, look, if there's a bit of rain as well, that I don't know. I can't wait for Interlagos. I can't wait for Interlagos every year, but particularly this year because there's, as we were saying, 33 points at stake, and you just never know with the inclement Interlagos weather. Right, let's get on to the next topic of discussion. Let's get into lap one, and let's get into the penalties or lack of penalties and what might have happened. Should we start? Where do you want to start? 4-2 at the first corner didn't go. It never goes. It never works with a 90-degree right-hander after that long drag. Max was forced wide. He got beached on a curb, narrowly avoided a wall, came back on. And Leclerc did the same, gave the place back to Lando, but not to Hamilton. Shall I start with you, Jack? Do we think that those both deserve penalties?
Well, Max, not, because he was ahead of Russell anyway, and he gave all the places back. He was next to the two Ferraris, and he just let them in front of him. So that was fine. Leclerc, yes, because he was actually behind Lewis. He didn't even try to make the corner. He stepped on it and realized, oh, it's my teammate. Nothing will happen to me. So the problem is that corner. If you have gravel there or a wall, you would be 4 wide. You would be 2 wide maybe, and everybody else would back off because they would know that there's not an escape road. Now they think, okay, it doesn't matter. If I just brake way too late, I might be ahead. I'll come out ahead. Maybe I let them by or not. Nothing lost. It's worth the risk. And that's why we have these crazy first corners on that track. That is an issue that we will have every year. Just drivers dive bombing on the outside, knowing that they can just go straight.
Well, that was George's point afterwards. It was also Fernando's point afterwards, and a few of those that actually didn't gain advantage. Did you agree with Jack there, Martin? I think when we looked at it on the SkyPad, certainly it looked like Charles Leclerc wasn't in control of that car all the way around the outside of the corner. Obviously, he had a little slip that he had to correct, and he went off. But should that one have gone back? Should he have had a penalty?
100%, yes. Max should have had a penalty because, but if you put your car on the far left in 4 abreast, it will go on the curb. But Max had no intention. You can see him actually accelerate. Really skillful driving through the grass, I must say. But Max made no effort whatsoever to take turns 1, 2, or 3. And that should have been a penalty. The geography out there is just hopeless. It needs zones. It needs a place you've got to pass through, and maybe even a zone where you have to proceed at pit lane speed limit for 100 meters or 50 meters or something to really make it almost as big a deterrent as a barrier in Monaco, and then they won't go out there. It's as simple as that. Max took the risk on the outside, knowing full well he could just bury the throttle and carry on. The sort of thing, if the fireproof boot had been on the other foot, Max would have been screaming about on the radio saying he had no intention of making that corner. He didn't. For me, at least Charles made an attempt at turn 1, didn't like the look of the way it was shaping up, so just ignored turn 2. And that, for me, was also a 10-second penalty. I might even have given somebody doing what Max did a drive-through to really as a proper deterrent to stop the silliness. And because then it all gets chaotic. And yes, they let people through. I mean, no doubt we'll talk about the Max Lewis turn 1, 2, and 3 thing,
yeah, which
I think is a different thing altogether. But I completely can understand those drivers that were minding their business, actually staying on the racetrack, going like, well, hang on, I'm losing out here. I might as well just made my own racetrack up in the first few corners and gain some places.
Actually, Jack, come on, respond to that then, because you disagree here. But there was always an admission.
Hold on. I only have disagree. The thing is, intent is one thing, and we cannot put really intent in the rules. It's difficult. I was just going by the rules. By the rules, he was ahead of George, let them